Okay, class, we are going to learn how to put on an anti-embolic stocking, also known as a compression sock. You might also hear them referred to as a TED hose, which is a thromboembolic device. These compression socks, they put pressure on the lower legs and help blood flow come back up in the upper part of the body. Now, there's different types of socks. You have some that are completely enclosed like this. Or you might have a sock that has a toe opening. And the toe opening, sometimes the toe opening will go on top of the toes and sometimes it will go on the bottom of the toes. And the way you're going to know is when you find the heel. And so when I say finding the heel, let me show you what I mean here. If I put my hand in here, you can see a reinforced section here of material. That is my heel. So if this is my heel side, I know for this particular sock, my toe opening is going to go on top of the toes. For state competency, that's a very important recognition to make because your toe opening will be on top or on bottom depending on where it's supposed to be from the heel. If I have this style of sock, there is still a designated heel area. Now when you get this skill for state competency, so this one here also has the designated heel area. So when you get this skill for state competency, I have seen both types of socks there. So I'm going to show you how to put both of them on. So I've gotten both socks. I'm going to go ahead and knock. Mr. Smith, it's time to put your compression socks on. Is that okay? So he says yes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull my privacy curtain. I'm going to leave the other side open since we're trying to videotape this. And I'm going to bring the bed up to a good working height for me. Now, you do not want to overexpose the person, so generally you're just going to uncover the legs. And there are different ways to put these socks on. I am going to tell you that for instance, one instructor that I work with, she puts her socks on like you would, like scrunching them up and putting them on this way. I've never been able to do compression socks that way. I've always had to come this way. So you'll find what works best for you. But when you're doing this compression socks, the first thing you want to do with this is you want to put your hand in the sock, in your arm, and you're going to find that reinforced heel area. I'm going to pinch it right at the top of the heel, and I'm going to turn it inside out to the heel. So it's inside out to the heel. Now I hold on to this till I'm ready to put it on, so I remember, because one of my critical things is that my heel goes over the heel when I'm all done with this. If you get this skill for state competency, you will be doing it to a mannequin. So now here's my heel side. I'm going to put my fingers in till I feel it hit the bottom, and I'm going to stretch this out as far as I can. Now, if they're new socks, that's going to be really hard to do. And I'm going to go over the toes, and I'm going to try to move the person as gently as I can. I'm going to try not to be too forceful on my movements. And I don't want to stop here halfway over the foot. I want to keep coming over. I want to stop when I come over the heel, because then the rest of it should slide up better. When I'm done, it is okay to have a little bit of excess in the toes. You don't want a lot, but you should have, it's okay to have a little excess of the toe. But your critical step here is that the heel is over the heel and there's no twists or creases in the sock. Now, they do understand that because of the mannequin, this is going to bunch up a little bit here, but you just tell them, critical step, heel over heel with no twists or creases. I'd go ahead and cover them back up. Put the bed back down in low position. Give them their call light, and I would tell my evaluator I would wash my hands. Now, I also want to show you the other type of sock. You will only have to put one on, and it may be this one or it may be this style, so I want to show you both of them. So I've already introduced myself and explained what I was going to do and pulled my privacy curtain. And I don't know if I mentioned, but when you are putting this sock on, you do want them laying down flat. It's not that easy to do when they're sitting up or if they're in a half sitting up position. So here I'm going to expose the area I'm working on. I'm going to go ahead and take this sock off so I can put my other one on. Okay, so this one here, like I mentioned, the first thing I want to do is find out which way the toe, if the toe opening is supposed to be on top or bottom, and I can tell that by the heel. So if here's my heel, I know this one, my toe opening is going to end up at the top. I'm going to put this in, my hand in, and I'm going to find that reinforced area of the heel. I'm going to pinch at the top of it, and I turn it inside out to that point. I'm going to bring my fingers in. I don't want to put them through the hole. I want to put them to the hole. And I stretch this out as far as I can. And again, I want to move the leg as gently as I can. I want to keep coming over till I come over the heel. And then hopefully the rest of it should slide right up. Now when you're done with this, do not leave the toes out. The toes actually have to be covered. And now my toe opening is here on top of the toe. My heel is over the heel. Now you'll notice that part of the heel is over here, part of the heel is over it. So long as you have part of the heel over the heel with no twists or creases, it's fine. If you put this on here, and let's say I did have it a little over too far, you can move it a little bit. They're compression socks, they're a little tight, but you can kind of wiggle it over a little bit. But if you put this on and you see that your heel's up here, just take it off and redo it. It's no problem. Okay, you won't get penalized for it as long as you recognize you have a problem. You just take it off and redo it. Now the reason this toe opening is here is, and the reason this type of sock is a little bit better than the older style, more traditional style sock, is what this toe opening does is these are compression socks. They put tight compression down here. It loosens up as it goes up, and it helps prevent blood clots. It helps prevent that thrombus formation in the legs when people aren't moving their legs. But sometimes these compression socks are so tight they can cut off circulation. So the whole point of having this toe opening is as I can check circulation. I can expose the toes and check the color and check and make sure they can feel me touching their feet, that their toes aren't turning purple, and I know that my circulation is okay. If I had this kind of sock on that didn't have that toe opening, the only way I can check circulation is to actually take it off, check it, and then put it back on. So that's the advantage of having these toe openings. So now I'm done with this. I put that on. Again, I would cover them up. Since I raised the bed up, I have to make sure I lowered it. I can ask him if he would like to sit up, or I can leave him flat. So would you like to sit up? And he tells me yes. So I'll set him up a little bit. I'm going to give him his call light. I'll pull back my privacy curtain, and I would wash my hands.